Alright, hello everyone, it's Silver Kyle here, and this is my gaming update number 11. And it's been about 4 months since my last update, so there's quite a few games to talk about, as per usual. Game deals are just my kryptonite. You know, I see a sale and I'm like, I can't resist this. And this year has just been insane for sales and deals. I've picked up so many cheap games, more so this year than any other year. In Canada, Staples and Target have been amazing. Staples is shying away from video games. They just want to get all of them out so they're on clearance sales. The most expensive game that you could buy at Staples in my area anyway is $20. And this is like, I'm talking about Call of Duty, Battlefield, on the PS4 and the Xbox One, Titanfall, Plants vs. Zombies, all these big games that normally retail for $60 or even here in Canada $70 are max $20 brand new. It's insane. And Target has had some really good deals as well, so that's the reason why I have all of these. But I did tell myself that I was going to pick up a 2014 released game, that I was going to try my best to play it. And this is the pack for the past 4 months that I picked up and also played 2014 games. And there's only one in here that I haven't played yet. So that's not too bad. So let's get into this. Starting off with Kirby Triple Deluxe on the 3DS. Now, and I had mentioned this in my last gaming update, but I hadn't played it at that point. So since then I've played it and I've beaten it. It's a relatively short game, maybe 7 hours, give or take. And I'm still new to the Kirby franchise. I've only played 2 games prior to this, one of them being the original Game Boy game, which I love. It's really short, maybe an hour and a half. But the music is so good and just, I don't know, it doesn't overstay its welcome. This game was kind of like really hard to, it was kind of a chore sometimes to play through it, so I would only play it for, you know, half an hour to an hour. It's relatively easy, and it's just like a regular platformer with Kirby. You know, not much to talk about. It's this year so far, it's probably my least favorite, but I only pick up games that I really, really want to play. So I mean, that's not really a knock on it at all. It's just so far I had the least fun with this game. Next up is the complete opposite, is Super Smash Bros. 3DS. Now this game, I almost didn't pick up when it first launched. Like I had a pre-order for it and I was like, I was so tempted to cancel it because at the time I was playing a bunch of other games and I was like, it's just gonna get lost in the shuffle like last year. Last year I had so many games that I didn't play and I didn't want that to happen to this. So I wanted to pick it up when I would have some free time where I wasn't playing as many games. But I was like, screw it, I'll just let it go through because I kind of do want to try it out. Super Smash Bros. I love the games, especially the 64 and the Melee Super Smash Bros. But I'm never really that excited to play them. Like I played a crap ton out of 64 and Melee, and there's nothing really that they do that changes the gameplay that much in the later iterations, considering my skill level. Like I'm not a huge fighter at all. But I had a blast with this. I'm so glad that I picked it up. I've always wanted a handheld Super Smash Bros. And it works. You don't have the biggest maps, and it kind of gets, you know, kind of confusing if everybody kind of like isn't as close to each other. If they kind of like there are big spaces in between everyone, then it's kind of like, oh, okay, where am I? But other than that, it works. I am playing it on the 3DS XL though, so I don't know how it would work on like a regular 3DS with a much smaller screen, but it works. And it's so much fun. I cannot wait to play this on the Wii. Because I actually think that I'll try to get like all the collectibles. I will actually try to, you know, get as close as I can to the 100% completion. I'm not doing it really with this one. I'm just kind of playing the characters that I want to try out. I do like the new characters like Mega Man and Pac-Man. I've just been really having a fun time. I didn't create the Mii character though. I kind of stuck with the regular characters, Nintendo characters that I know and love. Like Link was my first one that I had to play as, then Mario, Bowser, Fox. Like I've tried all my regular favorites from before. And I had a really fun time with this. And if you have a 3DS and you don't have a Wii U, it's definitely worth it. Especially if you have the 3DS XL, it will work. But if you have a Wii U, you can wait for the Wii U version, because that's kind of like the definitive one where you can play it with everybody, couch co-op. It's just great. Okay, so over the summer, I did pick up an Xbox One, and I love the Xbox One. I wish now that I think that I should have gone for the Xbox One first and then get on the PS4 afterwards, because really PS4, I haven't played it since, you know, a few months after launch. There's just, you know, infamous Second Son. Because if you're going to be picking up an Xbox One and a PS4, you're going to choose one as your preference. For me, it's going to be the Xbox One. I didn't think it was going to be like that because of everything that Microsoft had said, but they've gone against most of what they had said originally. I'm talking about, like, you know, at E3 last year. So now, like, the PS4, I'm just going to pick up exclusives for it. That's what I kind of did with the PS3. But my PS3 collection is, you know, there's a ton of games there because there's so many exclusives on the PS3, and it's you know, it's done its life cycle, so there's going to be tons of exclusives for it. PS4 only has a few, and for the few that are out there, I'm not super interested in yet. You know, Little Big Planet 3 I want eventually, so when it comes out, I'm not probably going to pick up day one, but eventually I'll pick it up. The Order I really want to pick up. That would probably be a day one game, but I'm still going to have, like, you know, 5 games on the system waiting until some more games come out. So anyway, that's just my little rant on the Xbox One and PS4. So I'm really enjoying the Xbox One, and let's start off with one of the games that I've had the most fun with, and that is Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. I did pick this up before they had announced the PS3 and PS4 versions, which is really cool. You know, this game was a timed exclusive for the Xbox One, and I had so much fun with this. It's just a third-person shooter with a Plants vs. Zombies coat on it. And it's so much fun. I don't know. It's just, I'm having a blast with it. You play as different characters from the game. So sometimes you can be like a chomper, so you kind of just go around eating people and you can one-hit kill them. But the thing is that you don't really have any, you know, long range. So that's you know, the positives and negatives of certain characters. Some of them, you know, can shoot really far, but if they get up in close quarters like a chomper coming at you, you're kind of going to be screwed. I just love it. I play the most, if I'm on the plant side, I'll be the cactus, and if I'm on the zombie side, I take the football player. I can't remember what they're called. I think All-Star for the football player. But really, really fun. There's, you know, sticker packets in the game that you can kind of unlock different aspects of the game or for your characters, and you can just add stuff on them. It's just a lot of enjoyable stuff from this, but it is only online. There's unfortunately not like a single player campaign component to it. I think that would have just been kind of nice. I would have liked to have enjoyed kind of maybe playing as a bunch of people. You can kind of do that in survival mode. You can play as a bunch of people together, working together to take out a swarm of a bunch of zombies attacking, kind of like the original game. But I wish there would have been maybe a single player component for that. I think that would have been kind of neat. Anyway, that's my only complaint, and that's not a complaint. I just wish there was an extra mode like that. Really, really fun. If you like third-person shooters, definitely pick it up. It's on the PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, and PS4 now, so it's all there, and it's, you know, $40 max when it first came out, so you probably pick it up for even cheaper. Next up is Watch Dogs, and I started playing the single-player campaign for this, and it's pretty fun. You know, this game kind of seemed like it was going to be like this big, huge game where you can kind of control the entire world with hacking and stuff, and you can to a degree, but it's not as crazy as and hyped up as it was. I'm still enjoying it, but what I'm enjoying the most out of is the multiplayer. The multiplayer is one of the segments that you can do in multiplayer, which is the one that I've only played. Everything else I'm just like, if I'm going to play multiplayer, I'm going to play this one, which is one-on-one. You get to see where your opponent is, or unless you're being hacked and they're attacking you, but you have to find out where this one character is, and you have to hack them, and then it's a hide and seek version where you run around this town, and the field on your map slowly gets smaller and smaller as the timer goes down. I can't remember what the exact time is, but it slowly goes down, and so your opponent knows that he's been hacked. All of a sudden he's like, okay, he's been hacked. This is where where this character is, and you have to go kill him. So then you're hiding around in this circle, and then it starts getting smaller and smaller, and he's looking for you, and it gets so intense. And you know, I was playing with my girlfriend beside me, and she's like, I could not play this. I can barely watch you. I'm just getting so scared that you're gonna get found, because this guy's running around and he's trying to find you, and the circle's getting smaller and smaller, and you're just like, oh man, I only have so many places to hide. It's a blast. I loved it. I don't really allow people to hack my world so that I have to find them, because I find that, I don't know, it's kind of boring having to look for them. In my opinion, I'm glad that other people allow me to do it to them. But I don't like being the chaser. I like being hunted. I just find that a blast. And it's so much fun. If you get a chance, even if you're not interested in the game, check out some Let's Plays of people playing online and them hiding. It's so much fun just to watch other people as well. I love that aspect of this game. And I hope that more games do this. I don't know if this is the first game that has ever had like a really good hide and seek factor like this, but man, do I ever love that. Next up we have Titanfall, which I had picked up. A lot of these games, I think Watch Dogs was the only retail game because I really wanted it because I had seen a video of it on YouTube and I was like, that looks so much fun because of the hide and seek factor. So I went out and picked it up. But every other game for the Xbox One, which I have a bunch here as well, but they're not 2014 released, so we'll get to those afterwards. I think I picked up at Target or Staples, and I paid the max $30. Some of them I paid $20. So really good deals on these games, and that's why I picked up so many for the Xbox One, and haven't played all of them. But I have played the crap out of Plants vs. Zombies, Watch Dogs, and Titanfall. Originally, when I first played it, I was like, eh. I played with my friend Jason here, who does the live stream with me and Kevin every once in a while, and he's known as Big Red Engineer on YouTube. He does Let's Plays, and we were playing the campaign mode. So it's all multiplayer, it's all online, but there's kind of like a campaign mode where at the beginning you can kind of go on one side or the other, and you can go through the entire campaign, but it's only happening in the background, like you're battling against everybody online, and then you hear this in the background, the campaign, and I'm like, god damn, this is boring. The campaign, the storyline is absolute garbage. You don't care because you're not really paying attention to it. And every once in a while, like near the end of the campaign, there was one guy that was going to sacrifice himself or something, or in that vein, that he was going to... It was a big moment in the game, storyline, that he wasn't going to allow this person to, I don't know, I guess, accomplish what he set out to accomplish, and he was, you know, it was like this big moment. I was like, oh my god, this is so bad, because for one, it just looked so cheesy. And then even if it wouldn't have looked cheesy, it's happening in the background and I have no idea what the heck he's talking about. I haven't been paying attention. I've been trying to kill people and stay alive. It's so stupid that they should have just, if they're not going to go with a single player campaign, don't even bother trying to add one into the multiplayer. Just don't do that. You can't, it's not possible. So, boring campaign. But afterwards, then once you start just playing Team Deathmatch or you know, Capture the Flag, anything like that, oh, it is fun. It took for me a while to get used to it, but just, you know, running around, kind of gliding from wall to wall is a blast, and then, you know, jumping into your Titan, calling him down, it's fun. It's just, you know, it's little moments like that where you're like, I get to jump into a giant robot. It makes me feel like a kid again. I get that excited every time that, you know, Titan, I can't remember what it's called, but like Titan incoming, and it's like, and you run up to him and you kind of like, you're in it like just a few feet away, and as soon as he lands and he just grabs you and he puts you into his chest, and you're like, it's so much fun. I'm making noises like I'm a kid. Yeah, that's Titanfall in a nutshell. So love Titanfall, a great exclusive for the Xbox One 360. I haven't played the 360 version. It's made by a different, like, it's not Respawn that made it, so I don't know how well that plays out, but oh man, great game. Now we have the only game that I haven't played yet. It's still in the shrink wrap, which is Tales of Xillia 2, and I did get the special edition. I did an unboxing of that. I guess I can put an annotation right here, and I'll also put it in the description box below in case you want to check it out. And it did come with the Steelbook, which is fantastic. I really like the background art here. That's really cool. I love that. I haven't played this because I'm actually still working on Tales of Xillia 1. So when this released, I was like, okay, I gotta go back to Tales of Xillia 1. And I started playing it again. And I enjoy it. You know, it's different from other RPGs that I've played, but also similar in a lot of other aspects. The battle system's cool. I kind of like the characters the most. That's what's really driving me to play this game is the main characters, which is, what's their names? Jude and Maximus? Max? I can't remember what her name is. but they're just hilarious. In most RPGs, you have this kind of very lighthearted humor, and I like that. It's more of a lighthearted, and they're joking around. That's the kind of what I like in RPGs. I want it to be serious enough when they need to be serious, but for me to care for the characters, you add humor in there, and I'm gonna love it. And so she's like a god, like a goddess, or a god. She might be, I don't know. I don't know what her gender is. She picked a female body, but they call her like a god. So I don't know. Either way, she is like one moment in the game. Jude or Judd, I can't remember what his name is, or how to pronounce it. He's feeling down, so she decides to hug him because she's like, well, this like apparently makes humans happier, and he's like, well, I guess it kind of worked. And it was just, I don't know, I found that hilarious that she would like, well, I heard that it helps if you hug, and it's just because she's so not human. I love that aspect of the game for the storyline or to move things along in the game. And now my last 2014 game that I picked up, which I picked up at Staples, and I'll go through some other games that I picked up at Staples. I picked up all of these games because they were so cheap, which is Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, which did come out this year, and I picked up these other two games, and this is how much I paid for them. So Pikmin 3, I paid 20 bucks. So it used to be, you know, at the beginning they were trying to charge $30 because they were like, okay, we gotta get rid of this. They didn't sell, they put it down to 20, amazing. And same thing with Lego City Undercover. So now I have these in my collection. I can eventually get around to them. I don't know when, but it's awesome that I have them because now my Wii U collection, I have almost every game that I want for the Wii U, other than Hyrule Warriors, which just recently came out, and Bayonetta 2. And I think and Monster Hunter 3, which is an old game, but I really have, I have like 15 Wii U games, or maybe even 17, something like that. So I'm really happy with that. And I also picked up Donkey Kong for $20 as well, brand new. That's awesome. I did play this with my girlfriend. We're having fun with it. You know, it's the newer Donkey Kong platformers, which are fun, but they're really difficult. So we're having some fun, just slowly going through this, playing like maybe a world a night type of thing. Next up is a Game & Wario. So what I did recently, at the beginning of summer, which I guess is a while ago now, is something called Video Games Night, which I plan to do a new one very soon, and that is to kind of play old games that I've had in my collection for a while that I really want to try out and then go from there. So I ended up picking out 3 games, and I'll get to those in a second here. Maybe we'll jump up to those ones afterwards. First one being Game & Wario, which is a bunch of mini games, which I'm really happy I didn't pay full price for this, because it's a bunch of mini games and they're kind of fun, but they added like this, you know, Wario kind of like storyline in the background, but it's just a bunch of like, I don't know, really crappy cartoons, and I was like, just show me the mini game and don't add this little 2-minute, 3-minute thing. I know it's just a few minutes in between games, but I don't care for that. If it's a bunch of mini games, don't try adding a storyline if you're just going to be cheap about it. I don't know. That's my biggest gripe with this. Then again, if you really like Wario's humor, maybe you'll kind of enjoy the little cartoons that they have, but they're just so cheaply done. If you're gonna use really good graphics, then it's okay. Another thing too, Donkey Kong, man, his fur looks amazing in those cutscenes, and the game just looks fantastic, and it plays fantastic as well. I just wanted to mention that this is a great platformer in terms of, you know, the mechanics, so it feels fluid. It still sucks that for the person that's using the nunchuck, you have to wave it around to do specific moves. That's so stupid, but thankfully the Wii U gamepad, you can use that and you don't have to wiggle it around, which is nice. Only Mario Galaxy can get around with that, and Zelda as well. Anyway, the minigames in this are kind of fun. There's a few of them here. I played all of them. I beat all of them, so I technically beat the game, but it's like a minigame game, so I don't really know if you count that or not, but I did play everything. One of them was like a sketch game where you had to sketch like a robot as best as you could, and then they showed what it ended up being. That was kind of cool. There's another one where you have to find a bunch of different characters. There's the one where you have to shoot a bunch of people. That was kind of cool, where this one right here, you kind of use the Wii U gamepad. So it's cool that I want this kind of stuff. It's just Don't add little storylines here and there. Do it like Nintendo Land. There's no story in that. You just play the game. Okay, the other two games that I picked up at the same time as, or that I played during my video games night was Tomb Raider on the Xbox 360, and I have beaten this as well. I love this. This is probably one of my top 5 games of 2013. It is amazing. This feels like Uncharted 2 and 3. It's better than Uncharted 1, and I really like Uncharted 1. I know that everybody says Uncharted 2 and 3 are like the best ones, especially Uncharted 2, and I agree with them. Uncharted 2 is my favorite, then Uncharted 3, and then Uncharted 1, but Uncharted 1 is still up there. But this is better than Uncharted 1. Not as good as Uncharted 2 or 3 in my opinion, but close, very close. And I will say, Lara Croft, man, she gets beat the fuck up. Wow, if you fail a mission, she gets destroyed, like brutally murdered. It's intense. And even if she's not getting killed, and she just gets thrown around and beat the crap out of her. Like, what's cool about this though is that she doesn't look completely clean. As the story progresses, she slowly gets dirtier and dirtier, like blood everywhere, and she has big scratches all over her face, her arms, her chest. Just anything that's exposed is bleeding and has some kind of scar on it. That's cool. I like that. It makes it look so much more real. But it's a blend of, like Uncharted, going around in this like mystic place, kind of like Indiana Jones. You know, if you find this place and it's really mystic, and going between platforming, you know, like third-person platforming, which I love. I just love that kind of stuff. With a few cutscenes here and there, or like you know, trigger buttons that kind of allow you to, you know, intense moments. But there's also times where she's falling down. And I just love that, and you having to go back inside, and if you screw up, you're gonna get a complete crazy death. But just great platforming. The shooting segments, I think there was just a little bit too much, but they're still really fun too. And the collecting, you know, I really don't care that much for collecting items in games, but this, I just really wanted to get everything. Like, I was trying to, how do I get to the one certain place? The puzzles were actually really fun. Some of they're fairly easy, but they were really fun still, just unlocking and figuring out, okay, that's where that item is, and I actually really want to get it. And, you know, it doesn't really give me much other than maybe like an achievement point if I can get everything. Once in a while they actually do add to your weapons, which, okay, so there is a point to getting all these collectibles, but I really enjoyed doing that throughout this game. And I actually, after I beat it, you can actually go back and get everything that you missed. And I did that for a while. I didn't get everything, but I actually did do that for a while because I was just having so much fun. And when you go back, there's no enemies, so you just get to platform and go around looking for the stuff. Really fun. Loved this game. So I'd probably give, like, I don't know, 9 out of 10. It's damn good. I cannot wait for the next one that's coming out for Xbox One. And the third game that I had played during my games night was Dragon Age Origins. And after I had played that, and my girlfriend saw me play it, she was like, I really want to play that. And she played like 75 hours afterwards. Not all in one shot, obviously, but she played it religiously for a while, and she loves the Dragon Age series. She pre-ordered Inquisition. I'm paying half, but it's under her name because she really wanted it. She pre-ordered the collector's guide for it. Like, she's just so into this series. She loves it. And I enjoy it too. I played a little bit more as well, maybe like 10 hours into the game. And I like it. You know, you kind of have a bunch of, it's BioWare, so there's a lot of story there, but it's interesting for the most part. There's sometimes a little bit too much dialogue, but it influences how you talk to characters. And for the most part, I really do enjoy a third-person, you know, fantasy game like this, where you slowly accumulate more partners. It's fun. So I really do need to, you know, sit down and play this a little bit longer. But I was spending a lot of time in Tomb Raider. I don't know, Tomb Raider I heard is like maybe a 15-hour game, but by the time I was done, but I did take more time going around and looking at everything. I really did enjoy the exploring aspect of the game. It was about 22 hours for me for when I finally beat the game. So anyway, now let's talk about some games that I've gone. I did pick this up. I picked this up at Staples for $10, brand new. Call of Duty Black Ops 2. My last gaming update, I had played Black Ops 1 religiously with my brother, so we decided to try this one out. No, I picked it up for $7.50. $7.50 brand new at Staples. It was awesome. So I picked up a copy up for my brother. We played it a little bit online. It's not as good as Black Ops 1 in my opinion. And I did play the campaign. And it was okay. Call of Duty campaign. I can't really complain. I didn't beat it, even though it's really short. And I really don't mind these types of games having short campaigns. If they're action-packed and they don't overstay their welcome, I'm fine with that. I have a fun time with Call of Duty campaigns. I just wish they didn't make one every freaking year. That's my really big complaint. And sometimes in the multiplayer, the tracking when you're shooting a person doesn't look like they're shooting. Anyway, they're still very addictive in my opinion. I just wish that they didn't have them every freaking year. Let's talk about this one. The game that I probably played the most in the last 4 months, surprisingly, was WWE 2K14. And I won't talk a lot about this because you have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy. Well, you don't really have to be a wrestling fan to enjoy it, but you get a lot more out of it if you do, because they're good fighting games. They really are. But I really didn't play it for that. I did play the campaign mode in here, which is you get to play every big matches that happen in WrestleMania. So from WrestleMania 1 to 30, so the last 30 years, you get to go through all these main event matches. And it was kind of cool, and you have to do specific wrestling moves. So it tells you what to do. That was a specific thing that happened in the real match. So you have to play it out, and that's kind of cool. But it's balls ass hard. Holy crap. If you're on like Legendary, you're gonna have your ass whooped to you, especially if you let them do all the reversals. You're just doing reversal after reversal. I'm like, well, this is really hard here. If you go up against The Undertaker at WrestleMania, good luck. But anyway, what I've enjoyed the most out of is the WWE Universe mode. I've played over 100 hours in this game, mostly in that mode where I just basically get my roster, and I downloaded a lot of characters from the, anybody can make a character, like create a character, they're called CAWs, so if a certain character isn't in this game, or you want like a different attire, they'll create them from the ground up, and they sometimes actually look better than the actual renditions of them in this game, sometimes, which is kind of cool. Well, not for them, but cool that we have the option of doing this, and then you can put it up online for everybody else to download. So I downloaded like a bunch of TNA guys, I downloaded a bunch of like WWE guys that I really liked. The only problem is if you have more than 50 creator wrestlers or a bunch of like custom stuff in the game, it starts freezing when you try having like big matches. That's the biggest problem with this game, definitely. I don't like that it freezes so much. And it gives you all these options, and they're freaking awesome options, but if you have like, not even the max, if you go the half point of what they give you, it's gonna start freezing, and it's like, so I'm out now at the happy place where nothing freezes. I have about 45 creative wrestlers, and I'm just going through and pretending to be the general manager and choosing what happens week to week until the pay-per-view. And then, I watch all the big matches. I won't play them, I'll watch them. I'll see like who's main eventing and who's going to continue on being the champion. It's fun if you're a wrestling fan. Okay, I went back and played Skyrim. This summer I just really wanted to go back and play it. This is one of my favorite games of all time, by far. But the thing is I get way too addicted into it, and I created 2 characters, and in the span of like a few days I logged in 25 hours in between both of them, and I was like, if I keep going at this rate, I'm not going to do anything. So I always have to like put it away, and I want to go back to it, and I will, but I'm trying to stay away from it at the moment because I know that there's other games that are coming out very soon that I do want to focus on, and I do like beating games as well. So yeah, I just love this. And I don't want to take up too much of your time talking about it. One of these days, maybe I'll do a review or something. What do we talk about now? Let's just go through these. I'll shotgun through these. I did like a pickup video recently where I picked up, I think, all of these games for $10, give or take, from Target because they were having a cool sale. Tales of the Abyss on 3DS for $10. I cannot complain. Brand new. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic. Winter Games, I picked this up because my girlfriend had an interest in it, and it was only $10, so I said, sure, why not? Same thing with Wii Party U, which came out with this giant set. Oh, right, it includes the Wii remote. I guess I could get that. Not that I really need it, because I think I have 4 already. Anyway. and Far Cry 3 and Batman Arkham Origins. And these two games I really want to play very soon. And for $10 brand new, you can't go wrong. But Far Cry, I'm gonna have to. I want to go back and play the. Everything's getting bunched up here. I want to go back and play the first one and Far Cry 2 before I jump into the third. I also had picked up at that time Need for Speed Rivals. I think I paid $10 for this, or it might have been $20. This might have been the most expensive one that I paid. I talked about it in my pickups video, so I guess I could go back and watch that, but I don't feel like doing that right now. So yeah, I haven't played it yet, but I think I paid relatively very cheap for this for the Xbox One. So I'm now at 7 games for the Xbox One. The other 3 are Dead Rising 3, which I think I paid $20 for, brand new, and Rise Son of Rome, which I also I think paid $20 for. Haven't played them yet, but I did play Skylanders Swap Force, and I played this with my girlfriend. It's actually kind of good. It's a dungeon crawler where you slowly upgrade your Skylanders. And I really had a fun time. I just really don't want to get addicted to buying the figurines. Like, we have 12 that we all really enjoy. We paid dirt cheap for them, so I don't want to pay full, like $10 a character. I picked them up when they're on sale. Same thing for this game. I think I picked it up for 30 brand new. Something like that. Maybe 20, but I'm thinking 30. It's fun. It really is fun. It's very, for kids, so the storyline is very much for kids, but the gameplay itself is actually really good. Okay, we're at the last few games here. Well, how about we leave those for last? So I'm adding this just to show, because my girlfriend, like I said, loves Dragon Age, so she had found a steelbook for it for $10 at EB Games Used, so she picked it up because she just loves Dragon Age so much. So that's pretty cool, but she's like, this is my game. You can add it to your collection, but it's mine. I thought that was cute. We also picked up, or I guess she picked up, we both paid for this one. Dragon Age 2, it was like $7.50 used. So she's getting ready to start playing this soon. She's played through Dragon Age once with the 75 hours, and then she created a second character, and now she's doing a Let's Play of it too. So she's just like loving the first game. But she's going to be starting this very soon, and she's going to beat it before Dragon Age Inquisition. I know she will, because it's a 25-hour game, and she'll just go through it like this. Next up is Lost Odyssey, which is an RPG on the Xbox 360 that has gone up really high in price, or is starting to go up there, and I picked it up for $7.50 used at EB Games, so I was really happy picking that up. And the other 2 games here are Crackdown and Crackdown 2. I haven't played this one yet. I haven't played any of those that I last talked about. But Crackdown 1, I ended up playing with Kevin, who also does my, is part of Team Beardage, the live stream team. And we've had a blast with this. I think we're about a third way in the game. We've killed off the first 7 gang members. What this is you're the super soldier, and you run around, and we're playing it co-op online. It's a blast playing with somebody else, where you basically you're a superhuman, and you shoot down gang members, and you're trying to clean up the streets, and so you have to go kill off these 7 leaders in this one area, and then you have to do it again in 2 other areas. So there's, I guess, 21 in total. So we went through the first 7, but the funnest part of this game is you slowly get upgrades, and you slowly start getting stronger and stronger, and you can jump higher. And it's the platforming. It's a third-person game once again, but you jump high, and you start like going on the skyscrapers, and it's so much fun because there's these green orbs, green and blue orbs, that you can pick up, and they help you, and there's like 500 of them, of the green orbs, I think 100 or 150 of the blue orbs, and they're so much fun. You see them all around, and you're like, okay, I can get a few of these here because I'm high up, and I'll just kind of grab a few of these, and then you're like, oh, there's one over there. How do I get up to that place? And you have to try to figure it out, and it's so much fun. You have to go around, different areas of the building. Is there some, like a window that I can kind of hop onto? Is there a different ledge? Do I have to go from a really high building and try to make the jump? Maybe sometimes you're not strong enough, you can't jump high enough to get to that place, so you're like, I'll come back later. And you actually do. And the last thing that we had done is we had gone to the highest place in the game, which is the agency, which is, I assume it's the highest place. And it's just freaking crazy highs, the highest place in the game, and we made it to the top. We started at the bottom and we started going on the top, and we're slowly making our way up. And I don't even know how to explain how high this thing is. It's just gigantic. It's just freaking crazy tall. And we started, you know, slowly we're making our way up, and then about halfway it starts getting really difficult, and you have to start really trying, okay, where do we go from here? And there's all different little ledges that you can kind of climb, but sometimes it doesn't work, sometimes it does. Holy mac, we finally made it to the top, and it was so awesome. You get an achievement when you get to the top, and then we jumped off into the water. We aimed for the ocean because we're so high up and it took forever, and you get another achievement if you make the landing and you survive. So much fun. That is by far the best part of this game. The platforming and trying to get the green orbs and the blue orbs. I don't really care about, you know, taking out the gang leaders. I'm just like, okay, I'll go do this just so I can upgrade my character a little bit more and find different places that I can get more orbs, basically. That's what I love about that game the most. Okay, so that's it for my entire gaming update. I will just mention that I am playing 2 other games, one of them being Harvest Moon Back to Nature on the PlayStation 1, but I'm playing it on the PS3. And I'm also playing a New Super Mario Bros. Wii with my girlfriend, and we're doing Let's Plays of it. So if by chance you like Let's Plays, I will have a link right here, and I'll put a description in the description box below as well. So we just have the first 2 episodes at this point for Harvest Moon Back to Nature and New Super Mario Bros. And I'm hoping to have maybe 2 to 3 videos a week, give or take. So we'll see how that goes, but I'm really I love Harvest. New Super Mario Bros. Wii is one of the funnest multiplayers. The more I play it, the more I start enjoying it. At the beginning I was like, "Meh," but I'm slowly starting to appreciate it more. Maybe as I play other platformers as well. But I just love the multiplayer in that, and my girlfriend and I, we're horrible Mario players. We really are. Well, when we work together, we're really not very good. And Harvest Moon Back to Nature, I mean, that is one of my favorite games of all time. I just love, love, love Harvest Moon, and that's where my love started with that game and the 64 one, which are very similar. So anyway, thank you all for watching. Thank you for, I guess, if you've stayed, you know, till the end, thank you. It's been a very long episode, but hopefully the next one will be a little bit shorter and a little bit smaller pile of games, so I can talk a little bit more in depth about each of them. So thank you all for watching. You've been Bearded In. Beardage.